with governments don't they do. Once again, good morning and welcome to the program. Good morning, Salon.
Good morning. Thanks for having me again.
Okay, although we start with the what earlier don't mention, the Minister of Information and Civic Education don't they engage in plenty civic activity system, civic conference system. Lately we see una been the Cambia. But before we look at the one at Cambia, from somebody they listen to, what are the essence of the civic meetings here with the Minister of Information and Civic Education, the whole different side?
As you know, he pleased His Excellency for set up the first Ministry for Civic Education in the history of Salone. We grandpa there, we uncle there, we mama then always tell, we say in we own days we been get civics na school. So we understand we history, we know we responsibility. As a ministry, I been can announce now say we busy to set up the civic strategy first. So we turn to UNESCO, whether they're the global leaders, then Canada they look at the civic strategy, then say that one of the best we don't see in the world. Then send the regional director for CAM launcher with we last December. And inside that civic strategy, we get the school-based, we have for look at the curriculum, NACID the lead on that. We get the community-based, and then we get basic things around governance, which you do for bridge the gap between the citizens and the government. For make sure say as a state we continue for create a culture of democracy, a culture of engagement. As part of that, as soon as I know every week we do a press conference, today we get that unprecedented in this country. If there's an issue that's going on, una know say on Tuesday, no less a person was a day told na no well na me as the minister the day for answer any and all questions in a language you people understand. And I bring the top people across government, from the chief minister to the vice president, so even His Excellency the president, who don't host down a town hall, which is something we plan for doing again today. So it's about bridging the gap, making sure citizens they understand, say we they work for una, and una can get opportunity to ask questions. Last year December, we do the big one, we at the festival. With that festival, they will look at the entire year. What thing government don't do for you, we give you opportunity for them to ask questions. We do exhibitions, we do music, we celebrate Salone, we bring the country can together. When I remember say the Honorable IB Carbo did a stage with me as co-chair of the Civic Festival, representing the other political party, but as a veteran when I've been persuading at the Ministry of Information, we talk about what we need for do for bringing the country together. Abdul Kagu being in one of the panel them. So we had about 6 different town halls, full town halls, where citizens and go par President Bill go and observe within every single ministry don't do. So one of the feedback they will get Musa and Usman that we know for just in a free turn. We too for do for take this across the country. So we come up with a new strategy this year. We're a part of we engagement for the year. We do civic days. Every single district we take a mini version of the festival. We bring Canada districts. We bring camp for Cambia. We'll be able to get 12 top leaders across government. Chairman KKY, the Attorney General, Minister of Justice, the Minister of Local Governments, Minister of Energy, Deputy Minister of Agriculture, Head of Public Health Agency, Head of Statistics, Leone. We had a galaxy. We get the Assistant Commissioner for Border, because Cambia and a border district. So we had 12 top leaders in government for come to the people of Cambia, for can reports. What do they do, not just based on delivery of the Big Five, but how Cambia don't benefit.
Okay.
And then we give them the microphone. I want to just say something about Cambia. We take over 30 different questions, unfiltered. By the way, we get the chairman, we get a youth leader at the panel as well. We take 30 different questions. I see ordinary citizens, some man they cry. One of the chief them, he talked to, he was so passionate. What are they running here? You see, for the first time, as Cambian citizens, government come to them. We not come for acts for votes. We come for reports, right, and engage them in the democratic process. So what would they do? Now exactly that. For let the citizens then feel connected to the government, for let them hold we accountable, and for let we self do better for the people of each and every part of this country.
All right. Most we UK or we the ministry can organize some of them press conference here for let people connect with government. When I can get specific areas they want to talk about. For Cambia, within specific want to talk about.
So for Cambia, we broaden and small. As I say, we look at first energy, because the own son of the soil, Chairman KKY Kande Yomkela Bindede, for talk about energy, climate, and food security. So that'll be one big side that we would cover. We cover constitutional review and tripartite. The Attorney General line covered, and they did a fantastic job, really breaking down for them. We talk about the upcoming census. We talk about local governance issues na Cambia. The Minister of Local Government, he talk about the paramount chiefs, he talk about what's not the local government issue, the council, the issues in the with bosses, and then the public health agency talk about MPOX. We say, hey, so what's you, this not basically not be a day for like government come into Cambia in a way we did not experience before. So any issue being at the mind, by the way, we go ahead of time, we send an advance team, we conduct a vox pop, we understand what are the issues. I make we invite NIA for camp for talk about the border, because NIA Cambia, they are affected by a lot of the issues that they happen at the border. So we'll go for go to put lock or with it next. We get a standard set of issues. For example, we always do tripartite constitutional review, we go always do census, we go always do public health, but then depending on the districts, we also go add specific issues. Of course, Big Five go did it. By the way, day one, we've been focused on technology and innovation, because we've been getting the minister for technology and innovation, because day one now they do with young people. Okay. For let young people learn self get direct access. We're not there no more. No old person, this, that. We just focus with young people. We get a debate in Creole, school debate. The school picking and talk about what they understand about technology and innovation and the ills of technology and the promise of technology. Right. We do so as a ministry, as a government. It's not President Bill in vision. Say we need for break the silo. We don't need for left governance. Say come with free talk. We speak them belly English where nobody know they understand. Right. But we go to the people. We engage with them. We listen. We learn. And we adjust, because it's also important for the family and us. We'll not just go Cambia for good talk. Plenty substantive issues and come up. Right. We address the issue, then they talk about them boss. We the tire park, the school bus. We are dealing with that now. Then talk about fire force. Immediately as I come back, we report to the Minister for Internal Affairs. We can work on that now for make sure say them fire service. So it's not just that we go there, then talk about roads. Okay. Chairman KKY reports on projects where government already secure funding for, and the other one they would do. So again, then they provide input into the governance process. We they respond and make let them know say they're a part and parcel of the governance infrastructure of this country, and they would work for. That's what this is.
All right, before we go for break, one thing you mentioned we want to talk about get for do with the energy sector. As of now, what's the status of Cambia in terms of energy?
Very interesting conversation. For the first time, we do something, we'll go Cambia. Chairman KKY invites the contractor. You see, all man they talk about governments for gay lights na Cambia. You see, but most often the contractor they get millions of dollars, but they know they ever reports. People don't know they're invisible. So we bring Mr. Jones, we are the contractor for Ministry of Energy na Cambia, for come and talk to the people them, for answer the people in question. So he talk, for example, say, well, two sides. One, when I remember say poll been for them, it been go all over social media. Then the people then say na a product of the contractor in substandard work. And then the allegation. They say they want justice, they want accountability. We commit for do a couple of things. Me and Chairman KKY say we work on this initiative. I don't talk to the head of NPPA. Say we get for the publish the list of contractors per ministry and the primary people that we they be and then contractor then they. Because sometimes na them, minister not do minister not they take the money go implement. They don't go through a procurement process. They all na the contractor. Sometimes they hold the money then do substandard work. So bring this contractor come. People let me so happy for Siam for ask and direct question. But instead challenge them. You see they don't build up to 16 transformer them na Cambia. 6 of them transformer then the people they don't well. 6. God make. Who been there, chairman of the council been there, all the paramount chief them be there, all the leader them be there. So say for turn to they will say, if governments provide, now una your job for secure as a people, no matter what to do, they're not your civic responsibility that they hold the mic, then committed, then go do better, then go protect. So this is why platform like this is important. So on the issue of energy, I asked that question we do ask so direct. Because when me have been the Cambia, I feel the fact say Cambia no get light. So I asked the people in front of the Deputy Minister of Energy Bindede, Mr. Nuni, as I said, Chairman Kekwa Bindede, we asked the contractor when Cambia lights could come on, at least inside Cambia town where they don't do most of the work. He say if governments pay, latest 3 months come now, then go turn the lights on. If governments pay, now be the only condition and the way give say government for pay, of course the invoice they don't give. But they also get plan for the rural electrification at Cambia. Chairman Kekwa announced that for the most rural area them, then they work with one of the top company in the country we then call Easy Solar. And Easy Solar gets this package and they work with Irish Aid for make sure say every rural home get a baseline solar electrification. So if not basic lights, bulb and place for charge and things like that, we people in the pay for small at a subsidized rate, and for the rural area. So in terms of government in plan, of course, we hear a lot about plans and for deal with electrification at the country. The Deputy Minister of Energy said the ambition that by 2028 the country will get near 24-hour light. That's the ambition, and they work really hard on that.
Now, one thing you mentioned on one of the topics the Mona discussed na Cambia na light, and the concern will come up now, allegation or concern of substandard work by the contractor. If you see the pole way for done with them, EDSA will command them, we at least one end up for die and other one damage. The pole not gets even enough iron rod there inside. That's one from the contractor or from the people on the contractor. The contractor on the other side say, where he build the transformer, people in the destroyer. How this civic education go address some of them things here, so we already don't be done.
Also, that's a perfect question. That's exactly what make with the Gona communities. That's not exactly the reason we make, because in the governance process, everybody get for play in your role. And we need for do them in a transparent manner. If the contractor gets in contract, nobody know about them. We already talk no more into the abyss. If people are not able to hold that contractor accountable, if they're not able to hold the ministry, the government accountable, we know they go forward in the way. So government go to spend money, somebody do substandard work, the people know they get a result, the ordinary person they well. So within the Civic Day series they do, now for bring everybody around the table, for talk about the importance of this. We ask the people of Cambia, so we don't want light, they say yes, we want light. Well, now on our job as well as citizens and get civil society group then say wants for be part of the monitoring of contractors not in district. So, but if that contractor is listed, we know it in terms of reference, we know what he's supposed to do, then civil society go check what he do. You know, the people then supposed for make sure they don't pour anything and they then provide the security at that level there. But then they get for come with this sense of civic pride, sense of ownership, say Salone big pass we all, Salone are for we all, and that the investments we government they make now for we. And I want to say I really commend the people of Cambia. I really see a sense of, you know, Cambia now one of the districts that we pride themselves in and get 3 political parties. It's a very diverse district in terms of ethnicity. Then gets over, I think they get paramount chiefs them from at least 5 or 6 different ethnic groups across the country, and then show up, then show say even when they disagree, even when they pick up the mic, some them get so much passionate things for talk against government, but then being appreciate the platform, then come day, then stay for 2 days. Day 2 we sit down under sun for over 5 hours. Imagine a month of Ramadan. 3 hours in, I want to say, hey, this fast day, so I want to end the program. And then I say, no. They want for talk. They want for listen. They want for engage. Because as I say, we talk, we are not going to ever forget. Now one woman where they talk almost in tears, and one chief where they almost say, never, they don't ever get this opportunity when they see governments can to them, top government officials, and they not can ask for votes. That na the transformation where President Biode puts in this country, say we for change the governance dynamic. That it not for just be say the interaction between the citizen and the government. Now during the term no more will come for campaign, but we can bring a whole governance system for kind of get nothing for do with elections.
Okay.
It gets a bipartisan feel actually, or multi-partisan feel for let we talk follow move the country go.
Continue for stay with me inside the program. Cherno Ba, the Minister for Information and Civic Education. The program Good Morning Saloon. They continue to go for break. We can continue for look at more issues.
Bet Tomax. Bet to win weekly sports bets promo. Bet a minimum of 10 leons with Betomax online at betomax.sl and stand the chance to win up to 25,000 leons every week. Yes, 25,000 leons every Monday. Don't miss out on free money. Wow! Place your bet now and get in on the action. The more you bet, the better your chances of winning big. Betomax. Bet to win. Bet smart. Win big. Win big. Win big. But remember, only 18 years plus and terms and conditions apply. Always bet responsibly.
Taste the magic. Na Coca-Cola. Fresh and new with new look. Sip the joy and feel the fun. Every moment get Boku magic. Fanta, Sprite, Vimto, and Parrot energy drink, then taste so refreshing you go always want more. Then they are all side for sale for both wholesale and retail. So for delivery, now for call the number +232 30 32 8618. Coca-Cola, they also give you the amazing opportunity for becoming a distributor across Salon. Just call the number +232 30 32 8618. Coca-Cola, real magic.
There comes a time when we heed a certain call.
West African Postgraduate College of Pharmacists, when an agency from the West African Health Organization, they join on with the Pharmaceutical Society in Salon
for present the 37th Annual General Meeting and Scientific Symposium.
The theme now, Emerging Substances of Abuse, Implication for the West African Region. We mean say, na the cannabis way, how bad drugs them don't take over the West African region and self the impact where it gets to the West African region.
Other sub-theme themselves get for day, na the Annual General Meeting and Scientific Symposium. Leg 1, when I for tackle push now West Africa, waiting you for know, and how for go about them.
Again, who system them for day, for help the African region, how for deal with them bad substance they are, where they can inside the country them.
This, na some of the thing them, when I get for talk about na the Annual General Meeting and Scientific Symposium.
It go begin Monday, April 7, Saturday, Thursday, April 10, 2025. Now the Freetown City Council Hall. If you want for no more about the 37th Annual General Meeting and Scientific Symposium, now for call 076 395050.
Salute Day continue. We still got the Minister for Information and Civic Education, but we will continue for look at issues before we cancel them again. We go aside for address challenge them for sake of feeder road, make authority them now this sector being develop one feeder road policy. Well, for look inside this document, make the International Labour Organization with the Salon Roads Authority (SLRA) and European Union all one meeting with mayor and chairperson from different local council them for get the inputs inside this document. We this according to the Chief Technical Advisor for the Opportunity Salon Program at the International Labour Organization to Darai Monato say the National Feeder Road Policy go address plenty challenge them with the sector don't they get. For more on this, we join Adeyemi Jackson.
Road construction na one development thing wey expensive, we make plenty time, government can find and difficult for do. We make development partner then can come for support, but quality of road and central command for make road don't be concerned inside the past year them na the country. Make the International Labour Organization with support from the European Union the work now with the Salon Roads Authority for review the National Feeder Road Policy, where this policy go serve as central command on road construction, where good business no go scatter, outside different institutions that go engage for make road with no central command, where it talk inside one validation meeting with mayors and chairperson from different local council in the country. The Director General for the Salon Roads Authority, Engineer Alfred Jalit Momodu, talk about the reason why make that they review this policy.
We realize that INSEF not adequately address them because we've been get some gaps inside. Gaps in like for example, implementation arrangements, funding arrangements, institutional arrangements, planning and programming, all them problems that they've been there. So we realized we need for review this policy such that the new one will be able to speak to all of them gaps there.
Inside 2011, government be develop one policy for feeder road construction in the country, but this policy now one way plenty people believe say not be get clear and time on central command where it camp a road business. We make the Director General for the Salon Roads Authority, Alfred Jalit Momodu, talk about the thing the way this new policy will address.
There was, for example, issue of source of funding, the planning, implementation, even the implementation arrangements, the institutional arrangements, a host of others. Those were all not addressed in the previous policy. Currently, we are moving on to sustainable road development where climate change issues are being addressed. That was not quite addressed in the previous one. So this review should address that. I think there is every hope that this policy will considerably improve the development of feeder roads vis-a-vis agricultural productivity. We are all aware that feeder roads are roads that connect farms to markets and of course in some cases to stores, and this particular class of road is like the bedrock for agricultural development.
The International Labour Organization now one part the body that will give technical support for develop this policy. We make the chief technical advisor for the Opportunity Salon program at the International Labour Organization, Tondaga Manoto, talk about what they hope for see inside this new policy.
The vision, these are our roads. They open up access to markets because that's the context in which the Opportunity Salon project is being implemented. But there are so many other benefits that come with the roads. But if we are going to build competitive, Sierra Leone is competitive in the free trade area. And then as we are looking at government being proactive and saying we have the 5 big game changers, they need to be supported with infrastructure. Communications is a very key component of that. So we want to actually that we come up with policy, we adopt it, and that policy guide every actor and every player in this particular space so that when investments are made, they are not just made in bits and pieces everywhere. This is the policy that holds everything together for all of us, and that's what we want to be very thankful to SLRI for making this happen.
But waiting people will be the part of the review process, make up of the new National Feeder Road Policy, where SLRA they develop now. Augustine Sasheku, now the chairman for the Kono District Council, we get this for say.
The thing about policy is that it sets the pace. It tells you what is the intention of the institution that is in charge. How do you all come together to co-create solutions? And as you said, the biggest challenge you have in our district is road infrastructure, because it is difficult for you to get to very hard to reach areas, especially in the rainy season. And as a result, it is also impeding, it's a binding constraint for agricultural transformation, because if you want to get to the farmers, you need to make sure that you get the inputs there. You need to make sure that you also create market access for them, so that the issue of post-harvest losses is also addressed. But with this policy, we can even bring in innovative ways of approaching the problem.
The chairman for the Kono District Council, Augustine Sasheku, end up say, now that SLRA don't get new feeder road policy, that's go help for address the plenty challenge where it camp a road business in the country. For the Society for Radio Democracy, Adeyemi Jackson, the report.
The program now Good Morning Salon, where they come to you live from Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. Still inside the studios, we get the Minister of Information and Civic Education, Chengnoba, where they give updates about things so far we don't they happen na the ministry. Still get for do with the engagements na Cambia. Cambia and aside we business and the run day. And one of the things they want to look at to get for do with the border control. Within the people explain you now, saying that the issue where they happen at that party.
Well, I mean, a very important part of the conversation. In fact, I think a good chunk, about 20% of the questions that will come up, we've been getting NRA, as I said, the Assistant Commissioner John Amara, we now in charge of border control, well, for the entire country, and he bring coming staff. In fact, NRA aren't for getting credit. They be even set up a booth at this Civic Day for tell people and say if you want more information, go there. Let's talk about what's for happen. The commissioner say the only way we will be able for man we border and we work with the local community, and he open up and say, look, we give now access in case one for can provide tip information for different rewards. We will do that and they set up a scheme for that. The people then complain about one thing, then say they not get enough people that will work for NRA, and based on the local content rule, that border they then go on for see more Cambians then be employed by the people by NRA, and NRA say they will take that information they forward. NRA say look now fair employment scheme we get, but we really glad you would partner with NRA for them here because they need for talk about taxes. Taxes are part of with civic duty, but not just for pay tax, because most times you already pay the tax, but the tax they end up now the business money, and because you don't ask for your receipt, you don't ask for a GST receipt, you know, check if the products you buy get the NRA stamp, you know, then what are they now, then drinks they now and all that, and they even fuel and all that. So not just for the family understanding thing and they, but in terms of the border, people then say their life they intertwine with what's in the happen again. And sometimes we then talk about, for example, exporting of rice. So we then produce some rice, sometimes then they easier for them for let them go sell across. So we talk about what are the incentives that we need for provide for them, for make sure say if them produce them goods them and assets them, then go book and sell inside here so country go benefit. So now we talk about good roads, make sure say they get electricity, make sure say we provide additional incentives. So again, I've been just a frank family conversation about these issues.
Now, earlier we start for say talk about the civic issue, say free turn to salon, and when I get for the go across a different side. But when you talk about a planned activity, always talk about the budgets. Who said the Minister of Information they get the couple? Is it from una console una own funding way then can allocate una get a project una can write for this civic engagement there across salon?
It's a combination. So one, as a ministry, we get different partnerships. I just mentioned, for example, NRA. We get different other institutions and we partner with the ministry. They come in because, like I say, we provide a platform, then serve the benefits. Statistics say Leone, for example, get for do census, then get resources. So instead of all man go, young go, we try for consolidate. In that way, they would get more impact because everybody did. We blanket Cambia and we play alive across the country than they get for cost resources. Ministry of Finance, the allocation to we, especially for things like the tripartite, for things we need for do as the ministry for continue for engage the public constitutional review, that resources there, but that resources is not going to be enough. We get a set of different partners that would engage. Sometimes we write to the banks, sometimes we write to ports, we write to, as I say, NRA, we write to different, including some private sector organizations, like for example, Moliba, we engage in and give Motuka. So sometimes we engage with different sectors, them follow mobilize the resources. We go put local, we get for be a mine in town, we get for engage with companies that we they put local, because then self need for come, for let them be accountable to the people of put local. For say, hey, now this we don't do. We get for access, we bring local content. We want for know how many people not hire and hire, how many locals they don't what we don't do as part of a corporate social responsibility. But at the highest platform, that's where the people
in a situation that companies are that no is it then go they under duress?
No, of course not. But of course, you know me now. Me not go put anybody under duress for that. Now I made the baseline resource there with the ministry, with the government of Salon, at the baseline. With the government and resources, we're able to go off first. And most of the other partners that would engage now within government agencies. Nobody not the under duress whatsoever.
What's our budget line for then civic engagement?
It depends. Obviously, there's a difference between if you want to go to an Akambia versus if you want to go to an Akono. So each one gets.
I mean, total when for the national engagement.
We don't get like a total one right now for everything because we take a month by month. So for example, we just don't do the Cambia own for at the end of we don't done all the accounting and all that the team. But one of the things that I don't do, by the way, in as leader of the ministry, before I come there, Musa, almost every time we Ministry of Information get something. When I reach an ministry, we not get we own sound system. So now they money they go boku. we not get our own cameras. Now the money they go always for rents, then thing. And if you think about what's in the budget line in the door, we don't buy we own. We get our own sound system. Now it's mostly about transporting it, thanks to UNDP, thanks to the Chinese government, their support for that. So now one of the things that we may put in place, we're in the process for order we own cameras. So now we will cover we own event live. We get we own screens. Remember what cam would they do then screen them?
So that's not nobody give media again contract.
No, not to follow no give me their contract because you ask this question about budget. If you
Just-
think about
just
the
pulling
public
them.
money, no, we want for give me their contract. In fact, Una still go carry we live, but now we go get the platform for make sure say the quality of what they produce, we get control over them, and we'll be able for give people a multiple views and all that thing. And so now one of the things we made it try for do now for make sure say we get a long term. So after 1 year, I tell the team everything they doing a normal thing, we're not supposed to outsource and to contractor anymore. If not some tool they do not this ministry, camera, video, sound, audio, we should not be giving contractors. That they the money they go. But now because we don't invest now with the Biden thing and therefore we set as a ministry. Now part of we own go land there for make sure say we not just spend government resources frivolously.
All right. One of the challenge we the Cambia district they face, somebody just write on our Facebook page, get for do with water. When I may talk anything, we get for do with water for people that are
we not been gets the water resources agency in this with town hall will go, but people then talk about different services. We've been getting, as I say, local government minister been there, we've got the chairman of the council been there with at the panel as well for us then questioning and what we commit to doing was and I made this a very public commitment. So we're not being get education they but school picking them in Bokude, university student Bokude, they may get plenty questions on education. Me job, as soon as I can see what kind of this studio, I know soon I get that question and they can ask me about other things in governance, I'm happy to answer. Me job now for talk for the rest of government. So even when I don't get the answer, I can commit for do a few things. One, I can go look for the answer. I get access to all my colleagues across government. So on things like water, on things like education, would they collect them questions and know people they ask? Would they engage one-on-one? Internal affairs not been there, but as I say, would they deal with the fire force issue or make sure so we get access to fire equipment there as well and for equip the fire station within Akambia. So me on job now for take all them views in there, me team they collate them well and we come back and engage the veil because we know we get every government ministry department. We had 12, 13 people on the panel this time. We would go put local with the targets. I think we'll line out one for the group, each panel is 10. So we get 10 different people in over a 3-4 hour period. We engage, we get all the questions answered, but we want to make sure say it's relevant and that people can ask anything with they want across government, but that we they come back now and work with the council for provide answer to them.
As you talk about Fire Force, this brings me to the question, not to Cambia no more, even at Tongia. Fire Force now one of the institutions them we understaff, not get equipment and the rest. And over the past year, people only blame them say they're not able for respond to fire during the time where they can call them. If you go to the office now, Tower Hill, you're not in that kind of condition, even Aberdeen. Waiting the government to do as way for empower that institution they because they're very, very important institution. We don't see the fire incidents them recently, even yesterday in an area to be fire again. So we think government what they do for empower them.
So a few things need to happen. I'm glad we asked about Fire Force. Fire Force is one of the most important institutions in the civic life of the country. If you go to the West, picking the winning small as part of civics, and they aspire for become firemen and firewomen because the fire institution has a sense of service. Unfortunately, in this country over the years, we don't invest in the way we're supposed to invest, and they affect me every day. By the way, I want to give particular kudos to the new Minister of Internal Affairs, Morilengo, ASQ. It provide timely update to we already cabinet about every fire incident across the country. And I have to tell you something, Usman. We get a crisis every day. At least every day from one minister they provide updates. We get at least 3, 4, 5 fire incidents across the country. Not just Freetown, all kind different causes of fire incident. Just last night he say motorcar then catch fire, some side 5 motorcar then burn and all that. Where I come back mainly discuss about this Cambia issue. Cambia then gets the station, but they're not getting no equipment. So we talk about the resource constraint we then get, about in plan we don't put in place. They already secure resources, then they equip, add I think additional 4 stations where they want for fully equipped, make sure say then they across the country. But then they still grossly inadequate. We get for increase investment. We get for increase the capacity of the fire station. And then, so we already get the laws. In fact, one of the things the way President Bill instructs is that the fire department and the Ministry of Information and Civic Education for work together for increased fire awareness, fire safety awareness across the country. Now, one of the things that I think we add now to the Civic Days, where they go, many internal affairs minister will talk, say, why we're not bringing week, say, yes, we need to do that. We need to put specific booth. We will talk about fire, we'll share papers about basic things you can do. If you just turn off your appliances, no overload appliances. People don't know them basic things, and if you do them basic things, and it will reduce the likelihood of fire. And then I hear you ask just now about waiting at the hotline, right? Most people still don't know the numbers, but their number then they're supposed for they available to we all the time. And because some of the numbers are different based on the area where you dey and whose number for call. So we need to create a system. We the citizens they need to do better in terms of that. The government needs to do better. I can assure you, say the Minister of Internal Affairs, that's something this way at top of in priority. They remind we every day and they work really hard for solve this problem.
Continue for stay inside the program, Minister for Information and Civic Education. The program Good Morning Salute. They continue to go for break. We can continue for look at the issues.
Program Good Morning Salon. They continue inside the program. We take another issue. Usai as they don't elect him for the second term for the chairman for the Sierra Leone People's Party North America region, Desmond Pessima say.
The program we go continue for look at more issues then inside the program, but before that we been listening to Desmond Pessima. We been explain